Good afternoon. I am Pete, also known as Risk for Rewards, and today I'm here to talk to you about the new website. The website did officially launch around 14 days ago, but it started properly about 7 days ago, last Thursday for members. So we're currently on Ascot Champions Day, which is one of the last meetings of the flat season, but obviously we're all here for the jumps. I thought today would be a good time to just give a little bit of a quick run through. For those that are already using the website, it may allow them to maybe find something that they hadn't seen so far. And for those that haven't used the website or seen the website, then obviously it just gives you a little look round. There is a link in the bio below, so you can click the link, just check the website out yourself, but it is riskforrewards.co.uk, and it will be operating from now until May the 10th. And then from May the 10th, I will be back as usual for flat with no website. So I'm going to disappear and it will just be all about the screen. So let's have a look. So as you can see here, Risk for Rewards website. This is a little bit about me. Nothing really too much to read. This is the Cheltenham ANTEPOST profit, so this allows people to be able to see. I know the world has become very much all about your profit and loss column. If I can click up here, that should bring up. So it just shows you like what selections were there: October, November, December, January, March, total, your profit and loss at the course. So this column's a little bit different because this is different profit and loss because this was just at the Cheltenham meeting. So as you can see, like at the October meeting, the November meeting, did you make a profit and loss at those individual meetings across the season? Because I know everyone loves Cheltenham, but obviously everyone loves more so like the actual Cheltenham Festival itself. So you can go to the Cheltenham profit and loss, and then obviously you click here, Cheltenham profit and loss, and then it brings up the Excel spreadsheet. So you can go through what selections did he put up. Orange means that they came placed, green means that they won, and then obviously you can look at the profit and loss for that individual year. Just allows again people to be able to track from the last 4 years, because again, whilst a lot of my loyal subscribers on Twitter for the last however long aren't really too bothered about a profit and loss column, I understand people who have got no idea who I am. They do want to know that you've got a profit and loss and etc. and see what you're all about. So it makes sense. So there they are, and that is available for, obviously you can just click the links and it will tell you exactly what's been going on. So what do you actually get from the subscription? So as you can see here, just turn the screen up a bit brighter. As you can see here, the main focus is going to be on anti-post betting. You'll be in the Risk for Rewards Twitter group, which has been set up now. It has over 200 people in it already, and it just means that when there's notifications for a new bet or anything else, or if I see a horse that stands out and I feel like I want to back him straight away for the Cheltenham Festival, the tweet will go in there first, and then I will look to back a horse myself. It will always be you guys first, then I'll look myself. And I'm not going to try and find something. If I do find a price that's stand out, so for example, last weekend there was a horse called Destroy the Evidence that won. It was 16 to 1, then 12 to 1, and it opened generally at 8 to 1. So I put it up at 8 to 1, but I did state to people that it is 12 to 1 if you've got the accounts to be able to get it. So whilst I'm not saying that that's the price that I took because I can't get the price, but I still want people, because I know people will have those accounts, so I'm trying to help everyone else out. So ANTEPOST Cheltenham 2025 selections, I think so far there's 5 selections across the website already for Cheltenham 2025. There is also on the free bet side of things, there is, I think it's 11 selections so far in the free bets. These are slightly larger bets or ones that are a bit riskier. So things like, say, novice hurdlers that are 25 to 1 or 33 to 1, because there's a lot of variables obviously that could go wrong within that time. But they go in there, and then obviously we see how they go, and then I assess them before they run. Do I want to move that across the main column and make it a selection, or does it stay in the free bet column? It just means if you want to have a pound or two or a free bet on at 33 to 1 6 weeks before it runs, it means I'm not telling you on the Thursday night, well, you need to back it at 20 to 1 tomorrow, or make a decision before it runs. It's just all about, like the free bets one, for example, I've just wrote up this morning, so today is Friday, I've wrote up a Gold Cup selection for the free bets 2025. So that selection is double figures, it will go in there, and then people have got however long, the racing hasn't started yet, so they've probably got 6 to 8 weeks minimum to decide if they want to add this horse onto their sort of portfolio, as people call it nowadays, or whether they just wait and see. It's all about trying to give people as much preparation time as possible. Weekend preview, so this is something which is obviously fairly common. On the Thursday, the blog will go live for all the weekend's racing. So last weekend it went early, a little bit earlier, because obviously there was racing Friday, Saturday and Sunday. And I just put the selections up as early as possible. All of the Ascot content for this Saturday went up last night, so that was 5,000 words. There's a stats table on there. There's my opinion and views on selections. There's a few bets from me, and I will update that again this evening and then again tomorrow morning with my current thoughts. Am I adding any more bets? Am I waiting for certain prices, etc.? The real key to this is trying to give you as much time as possible. I know a lot of this is why I don't really like having the profit loss columns and stuff, is because if you want to be an actual tipster, then really you should be tipping into a 10:30 in the morning column on whichever day it is. But that's not really what I'm getting at in this slides. I don't want to be a tipster. I'm trying to be ahead of the game, and I'm trying to give people more time back. So by obviously putting the content out on a Thursday night, it allows people to read it, digest it, decide what they want to do prior to obviously these horses running on Saturday. I have put points on the system, which a lot of people have been going on and asking for a long time, and I have put them on the selections this year, and will continue to do so with regards to the anti-post ones as well. So weekend review, this is something I started last year and I thought it went really well, so I've continued it. A weekend review is on Tuesday. I will review all the racing from the last 7 days. Any horses to follow, any anti-post selections I want to place, any horses to avoid. The reason it's done on Tuesday is it allows the dust to settle from the weekend, but it also gives time for the handicapper to obviously give his assessments out on the Tuesday morning, so I can throw any well handicapped horses in, or if I've seen something, has it gone up high enough to get into a bigger race. Obviously, as always, the focus is going to be on the anti-post, but by doing this on Tuesday, it also allows me to look at the weekend Cummins racing, and if there's anything standing out for that weekend, like say it was the Betfair Hurdle on the Saturday, the prices will already be up, and if I've got a strong fancy anti-post, I can put that in there straight away. So Cheltenham 2025 outlook. So this is going to be bi-monthly, something I did very similar last year. So there was one up at the end of May last year, but there'll be one up from the November meeting of Cheltenham. That'll be my first chance where I'll go through all the big races at the Cheltenham Festival, and I'll give my rough shortlist, the horses that I think are the ones to fancy. Like say for the Gold Cup, if I believe it's between 5 horses, I'll explain why I believe it's between those 5 horses at this time. Do I think the Arkle, there's one horse that's a standout, etc., etc.? Are there 4 or 5 novice hurdlers for the Supreme that are top of my list? I just try to share as much information as possible, and that will continue to be updated every 2 months through a blog. Free bets blog, as I've already explained, hopefully horse with a little bit more price. Full access to the Cheltenham blog, so obviously close to the time in March, the Cheltenham Festival blog will have obviously 50,000 plus words, cover every race, stats, etc. There'll be big blogs for Dublin Race Festival and Aintree, but there are, to be honest, there's big blogs generally for most weekends and a lot of content. Obviously, Ascot Champions Day, as I've just discussed, there's only 6 races and there's still 5,000 words to read for those who enjoy getting a little bit more into their reasoning for selection. The countdown to the big events next year, obviously always important. There are reviews on the website. But let's go into the actual website and let people see a little bit more. So this is a lot more fluent than it was last year. So you've got log out, my account, you've got ways of handling your membership and stuff, whereas last year was obviously a lot more difficult. So across to the actual account, if you become a member, and I'm not going to hide away from the fact it is £22.50 a month to become a member. If you do become a member, this is what you will gain access to. So the account is your setups. Blog posts is where you'll find all the latest blog posts, but just by going to the homepage and clicking my account, if you scroll down, you've got the latest blog posts here. So as you can see here, Ascot Champions Day, the jump season is back. So this explains all of the Cheltenham blogs and explains how they will be operating throughout the season. And then this is the review weekend of Chepstow. So this was published on Tuesday, and this allows people to be able to see what I've just wrote, obviously from last week's horse racing. But the latest news. So the latest news is like a private Twitter feed. You click here and it will give all the latest messages of that I've put up on here for people to quick glance. So you log onto the website. First thing you want to be clicking is here on latest news. You click there and it will say website updated at 11 o'clock, new selection added for Ascot. Website updated at 8 p.m. for Cheltenham selection. The big thing with Cheltenham selections, I will try to do them away from people's work time. So I try to put them up. If I know that I've got no rush for them, I'll try to put them up at say 6 p.m. in the evening, 7 p.m. in the evening when people have got time to digest it and time to read it. I don't want certain people. And at the same time though, the prices aren't moving. I'm not obviously putting, like my Twitter, obviously where I've got 24 however many followers, it's not the same as obviously here. I don't expect the markets to move when I put a selection up, but at the same time I want the information to be provided to as many people as possible. So you will get prior warning. So Antepost Cheltenham. So what are we looking at? Obviously, this is what it's all about. So each one of these blogs, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, this already is accommodated with stats for each race of the Cheltenham Festival. And if there is a selection that I've already placed, then it will be in here. It'll have the selection and it will have the reasoning why, a bit of the horse's form and why I think it's a good selection now. This is the Cheltenham 2025 shortlist, allows users to be able to click here. They can see all the Antepost free bets put up and all the Antepost main selections across, so these 4 blogs and this blog in one place. So it means if people don't have time or they just want to quickly check, they can click this shortlist and it will show them all of them in one place very easily and quick. And then non-festival Antepost. So non-festival Antepost is exactly what it says on the tin. Any selections outside. So currently at the moment, this has got probably, I don't know, six races, maybe more, for the Breeders' Cup with Antepost selections and write-ups. It's got a Betfair Chase write-up with a selection. It's got the King George write-up with selections, and it's got a Grand National write-up with selections. So obviously this was going to be busy throughout the season, and it just allows members to be able to stay away from the Cheltenham Festival but look for those Anteposts on the weeklies. Cheltenham Festival, this is prepped up ready for the big week itself. This will be accommodated obviously a few days before. Profit and loss was what I showed you earlier, which was Dublin race for Cheltenham Aintree. The reason Punchestown is on there, isn't on there, sorry, is I'll be providing Punchestown Festival content as previews, but I don't intend to put selections up. I think it's a very difficult time of year to be putting your bets up and trying to punt into a festival that's so long at the end of a hard season. I think it's a festival to watch and to look for Anteposts for the future. I just don't think it's one that you need to be covering in the same sort of depth as these with regards to putting bets on. The previews will still have plenty of depth to them, but the bets won't, as in I won't be placing bets myself. Useful resources. I had a few questions last year about, is it possible to explain a few things? So I've added them all into here. So the education side, in fact I can flick across the education. It's just simple things like how long the Jockeys Championship lasts, does the jockey matter, trainers champions, stuff like that. And then staking plans. This is just 10 pointers of how you could have a bet in bank, what the best way to do things are, etc., etc. And they're all just my own personal ways of doing things that I'm just trying to share with people in order to hopefully give them a little bit of a head start. So basically, all in all, that is the website. I like to try and keep it as short as possible. That is the website. If you do want to subscribe, just obviously go ahead and click all the links. If you just want to go and check it out and have a look at the website, then just click the link below or go to riskforrewards.co.uk and you find out. If you have any questions, the Contact Us tab is up there, look in the top corner. Click there, it's a direct email to myself. I say that I'll try and get back within 24 hours, but in reality it's normally within an hour I will have responded to you with whatever your query was. So whatever your plans are for the jump season, I wish you the best of luck. I'll still be continuing YouTube content. I'll be getting people aboard as and when for things like Cheltenham meetings and stuff. So we'll have 2 or 3 of us on here to do previews. So that's not going anywhere, but this is just for people who are a little bit more, they want the content quite in depth week to week. So thank you very much. Good luck for Ascot, whichever you're punting, and welcome back to Cheltenham next Friday. Thank you and goodbye.